Just stand up. Should be fine. All right. So, hi everyone. I'm Saira, and I'm sure, as we're all aware, we're on summer break. Aside from classes, of course, when you think of summer, you think of like going on vacation, going on the beach, just like enjoying the warm weather. I know when I think of summer, I think like sunshine. So like the sun's out, like it feels warm on your skin. But you kind of also have to be aware of like the setbacks that can have, like the effect that can have on your skin and your body, and like what you should do to protect yourself. So I kind of, given the season, I wanted to like address the issues of like what sunlight can do to you and your skin, what you can do to protect yourself. So let's kind of shine some light on like what exactly sunlight is. So sunlight is basically like UV rays, so like ultraviolet rays that are able to go through your skin and go to like multiple layers of your skin. So the first layer being like the epidermis. So like, if it just hits that outer layer, you're kind of just like tanning on the beach. Nothing too major, but if it goes to like multiple layers, that's where you kind of have things like people who are sunburned. And if you have exposure for a long period of time, that's where you get like skin cancer, or you might get like a mold that you're like, hey, I haven't seen this before. So besides that, skin cancer has become like really relevant, especially like globally in the last couple of years. And like 75% of skin cancers can basically are due to radiation of the sun. Kind of something to be aware of. And aside from skin cancer, like UV rays from the sun have like other negative effects. So being aware that it can influence like early aging. So that's kind of like the reason why you see like if you see like older people, that like some people have more wrinkles than other ones. Um, it can also influence like changes in the skin. So you might see a freckle or a mole on your skin that you're like, hey, that wasn't there before, and that's when you should go to your dermatologist, get that checked out. And otherwise, we've talked about skin a lot, but UV rays can also affect your eyes. That's why your parents have probably said, hey, don't look at the sun too long. So it can affect eyesight in terms of damaging the tissues of the eye. So we talked about how the skin has layers. Your eye also has like a cornea, so that's like the outer layer. If it goes through that, it can cause you to like blur your vision, or get cataract, which is like cloudiness, or even like blindness. So we've talked a lot about negative factors, but that doesn't mean like you shouldn't go to the sun at all. So sunlight can have a positive effect where you can like get your vitamin D source. 90% of your vitamin D comes from the sun. So definitely recommend going outside for at least 30 minutes. I know with quarantine it's been hard. Like I've been in a cave myself. But vitamin D can affect like calcium being absorbed in your body, and that's like where you get your strong bones and stuff. So to keep the positive and get away from the negative things, there's a couple things that you can do to protect yourself. One is sunscreen is like a major thing. Like FDA recommends that you get at least an SPF 15 or higher, but I highly recommend 30. And then if you should be reapplying it every 2 hours. So here is one example. This one is from the brand La Roche-Posay, which is really good. This one's SPF of 50. So reapplying this every 2 hours would protect you from the sun. Another thing you can do is wear sunglasses. So here are some examples. Obviously, the look doesn't matter as much, but wearing sunglasses protects you from like blocking the UV light rays, so it doesn't hit that cornea and damage those skin cells. Next, also just being aware that sun exposure has like certain times where it's higher. So 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., like just being aware that you shouldn't be out that whole time and just like taking breaks to be in the shade. So now that we've tying everything together, we've went over what sunlight is. It's made up of UV light rays and how it can cause both beneficial and harm to you. So just being aware of that when you go outside, depending on how much you're exposed is how much negative effect it can have on you. Otherwise, the sun, in terms of skin, can go through multiple layers. Doesn't matter if you're like even in a tanning bed, like those are still like UV rays. Also, we have learned that UV light can negatively affect people in ways of aging, and getting new moles and eyesight. So doing things, how I said, like wearing sunscreen, wearing sunglasses or shades, even wearing a hat is very protective, and just being aware of the times of the day. But aside from the negatives, getting vitamin D is a very important vitamin for your body. So going outside, getting your vitamin D is increasing your calcium, which makes your bones and your body strong. As great as vitamin D is, you should always protect yourself either way in the ways that I informed. And if I'm sure everyone wants to look young, so if you want to look 20 when you're 50, wear your sunscreen now and like protect yourself. So like that next trip to the beach, you're looking young. Thank you for listening.